Hello, Bradley.
Hey, what's up, Jared?
Not much. We're going to sit down and play a game called Mini Mix Mayhem. What do you think about that?
That sounds hard. That's what it sounds like.
It's a difficult game. What it is a collection of mini games, simple kind of WarioWare style, where they pop up for just a few seconds and then move on to the next. But the difference here is that they have 4 going on at the same time, and so I just jumped right into hard mode here, so we can see it ramp up kind of quickly. And okay, so the first game here is just tilt the mirrors, light up the laser, and drag the marble to the maze. There you go. See, they're super easy.
Yeah, they're intuitive. Like, you don't have to read any rules.
Right, which is kind of like a important thing for these WarioWare kind of games. So now I'm tapping to keep my helicopter afloat while popping these balloons. Oh, I have to catch this guy and hold him before he falls into the lava.
So obviously multi-touch.
Exactly. And so I'm holding this guy up while I'm trying to play these other games. And it's not... Oh, God. Okay, now I got to catch these raindrops. It's not too hard, you know, when you just get 1 or 2 going. But once you start getting 2 or 3 going... See, I dropped my soccer ball there.
Right.
Now I'm helicoptering. You got to trace that outline and make the Z. Here's another one where you have to plug up that water so you don't drown the poor guy on the island.
You
Anyway.
seem pretty good at this, my man. Do you have ADD?
Possibly, but I've been playing this a lot trying to get it down because, you know, it's one of those games that you feel like you got a handle on everything and then everything just goes south and you die and you're like, this is unacceptable, and you jump right back in and you try again. So I've been kind of playing a lot. So here, see these chemical bottles here, these beakers?
Yeah.
It's actually a tilt-based one. So you have to tilt the device just so the liquid goes from one into the other without spilling.
Wow.
While you are playing these other games at the same time. Obviously, you failed that one.
This seems pretty intense. I remember vaguely that Simogo had an idea for a game like this, I think. Yeah, but it looks like these guys made it a reality.
Yeah, and there's not. I'm always surprised that there's not more kind of WarioWare type games on the App Store, because it just seems like such a perfect fit. I think the Phobic guys, the guys that make Mounts On and stuff, they had a game that was similar to this called. I think it was named similar too. It was like Micro Mini Game something, but it was pretty good, and I always really liked it, but they never updated it with new mini games or anything. I guess it didn't do too well. But, But anyway,
I like the character of this. I mean, it's cutesy, it's arcadey, but it's not like overly cheesy about the entire thing, which is I think something a game like this can do pretty easily is become cheesy.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, pixel art's kind of a weird thing too, where it can just be little blocky blobs of things, or a poor lion just got smashed.
Yeah, you let your line just take it.
That makes me feel bad every time. But you know, some pixel art uses the minimal amount of detail you can have to give things a lot of personality. And I think this game does that well.
Right.
Anyway, so there's a screw up there. You got to quickly swipe that to unscrew that. That can really screw you up when you're trying to. Then you tilt to knock the column over onto the poor lion.
Yeah, lion just ate it. So you're knocking the column onto the lion as opposed to saving the lion from the column.
It's kind of like murder. But anyway. So it's keeping track of how long I can keep this game going. And then these hearts up here at the top of the screen are how many times I have to screw up. So every time you fail a game, you lose a heart. And once in a while, you can pick up an extra heart that's kind of hiding in one of the mini games. So you can kind of keep things going. But down here, you got to wait and keep your eye on the dragon. And then tap to turn and face the one that's going to blow you with fire. So it's like some of these games you have to stare at and pay attention to for a minute so you can see what you're supposed to do while these other games are going on. And it just kind of like fries your brain.
Yeah, I could never do this. I don't have the dexterity. I think that's for one. I don't have the brain power, as most of my fans would tell me.
Well, there we go. I died. I lasted 3 minutes, 12 seconds. So
that's a lot.
It's not too bad. But anyway, so it also has a party mode for same device multiplayer, so I'm just going to jump into it and play by myself real quick just to show you what it's like.
Oh my god.
Look at this, man. Look. So half the board is facing one way and half the other, so you can sit across from someone and you're both supposed to kind of play your own half. And dude, it's insane. I'm shaking to make that castle sink. I'm trying to do the maze. I'm copying the Z. It's just nutso.
I imagine this is pretty rad though, with a pal, right? Like if you got somebody else that's actually willing to sit down and take this visual assault.
It is super fun. I played it with some people, and I find it hard to not, you're doing your side of the screen, but then you're noticing things on their side of the screen.
Right.
And see, they're preoccupied with something else, but you're like, okay, let me just jump over and I'll trace this letter for them, or I'll catch those raindrops for them, or whatever. And so you start to kind of like try and help each other out, but it ends up just getting in each other's way.
Right.
I don't know. It's definitely fun though. I love Save the Vice iPad multiplayer game.
This game, like this screen specifically, like this mode reminds me of some like 1984 like TV spread here, where they're just hitting me with psychedelic images to reprogram me.
Yeah, maybe I'm being reprogrammed and not realizing it, but I'm liking it. Whatever they're accomplishing is good. Wow. Here we go. This isn't I'm not doing too bad for playing whatever 50 games by myself or whatever.
You started with 50 hearts, right? Like that's kind of the thing.
Yeah, you start with way more hearts because obviously there's no way it's humanly possible to complete all these games. I guess, you can crowd around the iPad and kind of see what happens.
And it's a shared pool between the two people that are playing, or maybe 4 or 6 or whatever.
For many, yeah. But okay.
That's respectable. You played 50 games for half the amount of time that you played like 4.
It's not too bad. But anyway, Mini Mix Mayhem, it's fun, and it's a good iPad multiplayer game, so check it out.